Now I'm going to bring on your first guest. Her name is Harvey. She's amazing. She's lovely. She's sexy. She's sassy. And she's going to dazzle you. And the ladies will probably be nodding, and the young boys will probably be very confused about what she's going to be talking about. So I would highly recommend the young fellas get a pen and paper, because you might learn something. Okay, I've definitely learned some things, which I'll keep to myself. And it's our very, very first guest, so you're going to have to give her a very, very warm welcome. And that's not how you're going to do it. Just so you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Harvey!
That went well. Now this is going well. This is so professional. God, some things are so hard. Unfortunately, not at my house. Hi! How are we? So I'm Harvey. I'd just like to know, is there anyone here not been to a comedy night before? Give me a sexy, oh yeah, if this is your first comedy night. That's great. That's great, so I don't have to be gentle with you. Marvellous. So I'm not your average, Hobart comedian. I'm a little bit different to everyone else. I like you to think of me as kind of the Pinta Island tortoise of the Hobart comedy scene. So Pinta Island tortoise, one of the rarest animals in the world, poor old George, the only one left. I feel like I identify with him because I think we have a lot in common. Sadly, George is now extinct. A bit like my love life. I also, I don't have a hard shell, but I have been told recently, in fact, that I'm a bit of a hard nut to crack when it comes to the relationship stakes. And I'm thinking that's probably just because he wasn't using the right tool, I also have a few unique qualities you don't see amongst a lot of the comedians in Hobart. I wear a lot of sequins. I love sequins. I think sequins are a totally underestimated comedic tool because I reckon if you move around a bit, and the light hits them, particularly if Chris turns on the mirror ball, if the light hits them, you can kind of hypnotise the crowd, yeah, I'm really funny. Or, see some hunky dunk, and I was checking everyone out as they came in. See some hunky dunk in the crowd, yeah, I'm really 40. 45? Oh, thank you very much. I think we might just leave it there, because just in case Mr. Right Now is in the crowd, The other thing is, I have, other unique qualities. I have women's bits, not that common in the Hobart comedy scene. We'd like to see more, definitely. I'm sure all of you would like to see more. But, ladies, if you've got a voice, you want to say something, great place to do it. But my women's bits, in, pretty good working order. These don't kind of drop down to my waist when the push-up bra comes off, so that's good. This is working just fine, thank you very much. Bit underutilised at the moment. But other than that, not working if you want me to bear your children. That boat has sailed. That's the other thing about me. I am the Eminem of the Hobart comedy scene. Menopausal and marvellous. Okay, not marvellous all the time. Actually, Steve, when he invited me to do this, he said, Annie, I wonder if you might be the opening act, because he said, you're the least scary of all of us. But menopausal mood swings, I'm not so sure about that. Because menopausal mood swings are a bit like PMS mood swings, but on steroids after a bottle of vodka and a carton of Red Bull. If you had to have a visual, the purple Despicable Me mad minions, the purple ones, that's menopause. Okay? So I've started to think that maybe what I need to do is actually put one of those pre-show announcements on some of my gigs, So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lend a Hand to Hugo. Our performer this evening can move from halo to broomstick in 2.6 seconds. So we suggest that you do not use your mobile phone, as that may force her to come out into the audience, rip your head off and shit down your neck. Or curl up in your lap and sign like a child. And for those in the front row or close to the front, I suggest you have a tissue handy because a girlish flick of her head may result in a spray of perspiration rising from a temperature rise that is like lava from a volcano. Thank you and enjoy the show. I'm sure that might be necessary tonight, but I just thought I'd warn you anyway. The other thing is, I love the fact that they've called, use the word menopause is so instructional for you guys. This is one you should write down, okay? Men, pause. Check where we are on the mood swing scale. Before you ask anything, do anything, buy anything, organise anything, or for God's sake, ask us for sex. It's a real pity they didn't actually put a lot more thought into the word blowjob, isn't it, really? Because that seems to be diametrically opposite to what you want to do. I wonder if they should have called it, I don't know, ice cream? That seems to be a bit more instructional. Hey honey, I feel like an ice cream. Baby, since you've been so good this week, I'm going to give you a rum and raisin. I don't know, would that work? So, since I've become single, I've tried, and I just thought I'd mention that again, just in case, as I said, Mr. Right now is in the audience, just in case you missed it the first time. Since I've become single, I've tried to be a bit more sexually adventurous. Thought I'd mention that as well. And I've learned so much from that, so much. One of the things I learned was that I put it into a little Japanese haiku poem, so I could use it as a sort of a bit of a mantra, Fear lives in the mind, bravery thrives in the heart, stupidity here. Now, I probably wasn't remembering that when I decided that I would go out with a guy who proclaimed himself to be the pussy whisperer. I kid you not. Not surprising that it was equally originally exciting, but ultimately disappointing. Firstly, he was severely allergic to my cats. And when it got right down to it, there was a lot of small talk, no deep and meaningful, and sure as shit, no whispering. What else have I learned? Don't leave your sex toys on the bedside table because the dog just sees toy. And I think potential lovers might find the bite marks a bit disturbing. Online dating, oh God, we could be here for hours, seriously. But just for tonight, one little tip. If the guy who says he's 45 and looks like a slightly psychotic Santa in a Harvey's vest, if he's starting to look like an oasis in the desert, it's time to go offline for a while. Quite a few of them here, younger men. I do like younger men. There's a few, some swings and roundabouts with younger men. Firstly, they do look at Facebook a lot. If I had to choose between morning sex and checking my Facebook, I'd go with the former. Maybe that's just me. The advantage of the Facebook thing is that they see articles, like was in there a couple of weeks ago, that said that women in their mid-40s to mid-50s, let's just say I'm in that range, are sexy as shit. And that is because we are more experienced, so we are better at both giving and receiving pleasure than a woman, say, in her 20s. Now, obviously, I should have put that in my RSVP profile. Now, there's another problem with younger men, particularly in Hobart. Hobart is so small. So, what I thought I'd do is I've got a little warning for you around that. So I popped it into a little poem for you, which I know. The smile he gave was worth a mint as he made my fourth soy latte. And I wonder what the girls from the office would think if I took him to a party. With jeans so tight it was surely sin as he bent and picked that spoon up. Oh, I couldn't believe I was having these thoughts about a man who was just a pup. We smiled and chatted and I felt the vibe, and I was sure his interest was not faked. But as he made the milk all hot and frothy, I was picturing him naked. The phone rang hot and he answered smoothly with a name that was like no other. And it was at that point that I thought, oh, fuck my God, I know your mother. As my hot thoughts cooled, I thought, what a shame. Because now it just felt weird. But I'm sure he had an older brother and he'd be him, but with a beard. And so he sensed my change of mood, even though I looked at his bum. So I girded my loins and reluctantly admitted that I knew his mum. But he just smiled and kissed my hand and said, older women have a gift. And then and there, I thank my lucky stars I've worn that bra with extra lift. So women, I say, just flirt away, but get the number of his brother. So then, guilt-free, you can meet eye to eye when in the street you meet his mother. Thank you, you have been beautiful. The best day ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, Annie Harvey.